Hello everyone, welcome to a new reading. Today we are doing a kind of special reading, which is it's a normal friendship reading, but it's going to be between Yoon and Hoshi, and I'm doing this to celebrate Yoon's birthday, which has already passed. For me, it's not his birthday yet, but in Korea it already is when I'm recording this. But this video is going to be uploaded kind of like in the middle in between Yoon's birthday and Hoshi's birthday. So this video is to, hit two birds with one stone and do like a little special thing for both of them as a way of celebrating their birthdays, even though, well, it's not going to be uploaded in either's one. Anyway, let's jump into this reading and take out one card to represent the connection that Yoon and Hoshi have. We have Sandalphon with the Angel of New Life, Ramiel, I guess, with the Angel of Vision. You know what's funny? Oh wait, it's not even in frame. Whenever the Sandalphon card comes out, I always see that one as like twins because of how the imagery usually comes up. And well, Hoshi and June are both Geminis, which is the zodiac sign that has the twins. So that's kind of funny. But let's see. One card to represent June in this relationship. I said one, but it's okay. And then one card to represent Hoshi in this relationship. We have Temperance. So the type of connection that they have, or the cards that represent their connection, kind of show that they're both very intuitive and super creative, because with the Angel of Vision, I'm seeing someone that has a very good imagination, someone that connects to their subconscious, so maybe they're both very intuitive. I don't know how aware they both are of this, but I guess one way we can describe their intuitive ability, is how both of them are pretty good at reading the room. So they're both very aware of how people are feeling, or they're both very witty or very funny. And that type of relationship that they have is one where they don't really have to say much to each other, and they both kind of understand what the message is. They both just get it. That's what I'm getting with this Angel of Visions. They both could be very good also at figuring out what the other one's going to do, or what the other one's going to say, or they kind of already intuitively know what the other one's already thinking. So again, this Angel of Vision kind of tells me that they both have a very intuitive connection, and they both really understand each other in a level that many other people can't really see. So this is kind of reminding me of that one time, I think June mentioned it, that when Hoshi and him fight, they know that the fight is over when they just kind of just look at each other and they just start playing around, kind of like wink wink, and they go like, yeah, we're fine. So they're very good at reading each other's expressions and their body language. They kind of just know, okay, you're not angry anymore, we can be back to normal. They don't really have to apologize or explain to each other. They just kind of know. Now with the Angel of New Life, this kind of tells me that the type of connection that they have is one filled with like a rebirth. And this kind of looks like a flower. I think it is a flower that's blossoming, and it made me think of their ability to transform and grow as individuals. I'm also feeling like this phoenix like energy, so they're both very good at hyping each other up and try to bring each other up whenever they feel like they're going through a very rough time, or when they feel like they want to give up on something. So they hype each other up and try to make sure that the other one feels comfortable and feels like they have the support necessary to do something new or to transform as an individual. And again, I do feel that they're both able to see the good and the bad that each of them carry, because of how maybe they're not necessarily similar personality wise, but I do feel that they understand each other pretty well. So this Angel of New Life kind of tells me that they have a relationship that they both understand the type of music that they like, or even if they have creative differences, they still admire the other person's viewpoint and their ideas. I do feel that they're both very witty and very good at thinking in the spot. So there's this spontaneous energy that they both carry, that they understand each other very well with, and they can kind of like piggyback ride, if that makes sense, on each other's ideas and just kind of continue on and on because of how creative they both are. Now, the cards that represent Yoon in this relationship is the Eight of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune reversed. So we have perfectionism and karma reversed. So this kind of tells me that the type of I guess the side that shines the most in this relationship with June is his ability of working very hard to achieve his dreams and his goals. He's not someone that really likes to rely on other people, or he doesn't really like to rely on destiny and fate. Like, he likes to do his own thing, work hard to make his dreams come true. He's not really the type that likes to allow things to happen by chance. I do feel that he does leave room for things that are not in his power, but he prefers to laser focus on things that he can actually do and things that he can actually work on, and just focus on the steps that he can have full control over. Because the Eight of Pentacles talks about someone that is working on their skills and trying, he's a perfectionist, as it shows right here. So he's someone that works very hard to improve on his skills, works very hard to make sure that he practices a lot, to make sure that his talents are well taken care of, and he puts a lot of attention into the details of what he does to make sure that the performance or whatever skills he's working on are top shape at all times. There is also this sense of, like, he just puts a lot of hard work on his skills to make sure that he's always prepared to be one step closer to achieving his dreams. So with this Wheel of Fortune reverse, we have the energy of Jupiter, but we also have this energy of someone that doesn't feel like that Earth and the universe is on their side. So maybe June feels like he has to, like, overcompensate to make things happen. So in this relationship, I do feel that this side of him is highlighted. Like, the shadow aspect of someone that is a very hard worker is like someone that works very hard because they don't believe that the universe is working with them. It is someone that works very hard because they feel like they're lacking something. Like, I do feel that in this case, the cards may not necessarily show it that way, but with this Wheel of Fortune reverse, it kind of shows that June is shown as someone that is very hardworking, which is a very good trait, but at the same time, there's like this shadow behind it of, maybe feeling like he lacks, maybe that he doesn't trust destiny, doesn't trust the things that are outside of his power, or this idea that he has to work again to overcompensate for something that it's not in his control. On the other side, the card that represents Hoshi, though, is Temperance. With here we have healing, but I usually see Temperance as patience. So that could be one of the things that June may be lacking. Maybe he lacks the patience to see his manifestations come through and allow destiny and fate to do its thing and kind of like just show him, this is your dream coming true. So he may work very hard to achieve his goals because he doesn't really have the patience to see things just kind of happen. So he prefers to just kind of work towards it. Now, on the other hand, Hoshi's card, the one that represents him, is Temperance, which is a Sagittarius card. Now, this card is one that shows someone that is protected by, like, a guardian angel. It is someone that has a very harmonious and balanced personality as well as lifestyle. This shows someone that has gone through some difficult challenges, because Temperance is a card that goes right after the Death card, which is, the Death card is number 13, and that one represents this Phoenix moment of the end of a cycle and the start of a new one, right? Death and rebirth. So with this Temperance card, which is number 14, we're talking about the aftermath of that. So it's the healing period. It's when you have already gotten rid of everything that doesn't work for you, and now you're working towards creating something new. So with this Temperance card, it kind of shows that in this relationship, Hoshi is the one that kind of like goes with the flow. He likes to venture into the unknown, and he is already on that process of creation. Like, he's already thinking, how can I make things better? How can I create? Because he is already past the state of transformation. He already went through his shadow period, and now he's just ready to allow these new beginnings to happen and allowing these new things to come into his life. So that seems to be how they're both represented in this relationship. But let's get on to the next question, which is, how does June see Hoshi? So we have the King of Swords, which in this deck, this will be Aquarius energy. And Hoshi, how do you see June? We have the Lovers and the Magician reverse. Okay. So, from June's side, this King of Swords kind of represents, he sees Hoshi as someone that says things exactly how he sees them, someone that doesn't really have a filter, someone that kind of just says whatever comes into his mind. Someone that is actually pretty logical, someone that could be a little bit cold-hearted and kind of like cutthroat. So super straightforward and like just says things exactly how he sees them, right? So there's a chance that June really, like, that stands out to him, how Hoshi kind of just says things how they are and he doesn't hold back. Funnily enough, usually this King of Swords is actually like the equivalent of the Queen of Swords when it comes to hierarchies in tarot. But in this case, I'm getting that one of the things that Jun sees about Hoshi is how Hoshi can like get away sometimes with saying like very straightforward things that could come off as disrespectful to others, but when Hoshi says it, people kind of just go like, that's just how you are, and they kind of just laugh it off and go like, okay, I get what you're trying to say, right? So there's like a sense of being even charming about it. On the other hand, the way that Hoshi sees Yoon is as someone that has a lot of opportunities, a lot of potential with this Lovers card. And also, the Lovers talks about someone that went through this period of finally detaching themselves from the conventional side of the world, finally able to detach themselves from their culture and kind of leaning more to this phase of formulating what they truly believe in, that could be in accordance or it could go against something that they kind of grew up accustomed with or they grew up with. So this Lovers card to me is kind of actually emphasizing, also it's Gemini energy by the way, it's emphasizing this energy of Hoshi sees June as someone that is full of potential, full of opportunities, and someone who truly knows what they believe in and stays grounded and doesn't even budge with whatever idea June has. So what I mean by this is that the thing that stands out when he sees June or like knowing him is June's ability to just know what he wants, knowing what he believes in, and same principle, let me put it that way. So it doesn't matter what environment June is in, it doesn't matter what situation he's in, he stays loyal to who he is as a person and to what he believes in. Now, the other card that we have right here is the Magician reverse, which is Mercury energy. And with this card being reversed, this kind of says that Hoshi sees how June is an individual that struggles very much in making his manifestations happen. And I do feel that it could be... We also have two major arcana, so this is like a big deal. There is a chance that Hoshi sees June as someone that has a lot of potential in making and manifesting everything and anything in his life very quickly. But there is a sense of June doesn't see this potential that Hoshi is able to detect or see, which I do feel could be a bit frustrating because I have a feeling Hoshi doesn't really have the right words to express this feeling of like he can say there's, you know, you can do this, you can do that, right? Like there's no impossible, just go for it. But he can't really express to June how this is a constant pattern. It's not just like a one-time thing of like, oh, you want to achieve this goal? There's no impossibles for you, just go for it, you can do this, right? Like, I think that's usually how it comes off in their daily life, but I think if Hoshi were to actually say what he sees, it will be kind of difficult to explain it because I don't think he has the words to kind of just say, like, you know who you are, you know what you want, but you don't believe that you have this ability to just manifest it even quicker than what you believe in, right? Because I do feel that this is something that June has to work on since he had the Wheel of Fortune reversed. Working on actually believing that his manifestations will come true and not just working himself to the bone to make them happen. It's like sometimes letting go of control and allowing the universe to step in. That kind of feeling. Now, how do they both like to spend their time together? So we have the Angel of Divination. So, funnily enough, I'm taking this one at face value a little bit. I do feel that both of them are pretty interested in the unknown and the occult, in the sense of like maybe astrology, even tarot could be something that they're both interested in. You know, also what I'm getting? There's very different forms of divination in the sense of like people are able to channel intuitively with many different tools. And one of the tools that I was shown is once I saw that someone was using like seashells. They will kind of just throw it on the table, and I don't really know how they knew, but like they were able to kind of see patterns and kind of use that as their tool of divination. Also, there's ruins that people use. Other people, I don't really know how this one works, but it's like kind of like you draw like lines. I don't really know how those work. I'm also getting like, rose petals are also a form of reading. Hydrochromancy, I think that's how it's called, reading using water, using bones. There's very different ways of divinating. So I do feel that that's something that they really enjoy, talking about things that cannot be seen. So maybe even talking about ghosts. They like to talk about stories that feel kind of supernatural or feel kind of like, this is unbelievable. How did this happen? They like to talk about destiny and fate. So if that's what they like to do together, that could explain why we're getting this very strong sense of potential and fate, destiny, and manifestation, right? Since they like to spend their time together talking about that, then it makes sense that that's kind of where their reading has been heavily focused on. But let's go on to the next question and see, what does June like about Hoshi? Oh, that was very quick. We have the sun reverse, which is still very positive. And what does Hoshi like about June? We have the hangman reverse. Stubborn. So the thing that I think both of these cards being reversed kind of show that they both don't even realize this is what they like about each other. That's something that just randomly came through. But with the sun reversed, it kind of shows that June likes how Hoshi is someone that is always shining brightly, is always positive, even when things are tough or when things seem like very challenging. June still sees Hoshi, or he likes how Hoshi still stays pretty positive and tries to work towards making things work. And he's someone that also has a very happy inner child, meaning that Hoshi tries to just do what he loves, do what he enjoys, and work hard towards staying positive by doing what his heart tells him to do. Now, the other card that we have right here is the Hangman reverse. So the thing that Hoshi likes about June is how loyal June is to himself and his ideas, his morals, his ethics. Also with a hangman, I do feel that despite what I just said about what Hoshi likes about June, Hoshi also really likes how June is able to be very open-minded despite not really changing his ways. So I'm getting this sense of like someone that, I don't know if June has displacements, but someone that may have a Gemini sun but a Mars in Taurus. So what I mean by that is someone that is usually very open-minded, likes to stay informed about the latest news, and it's someone that just naturally observes a lot of information because they just like to learn and, fun facts and stuff. But when they go about taking action in their life, it's very slow moving. It's slow moving because it's like taking one step at a time, filled with caution, with preparation, and a routine that could be very slow in its process because of how careful it's being. And anyone that has a Mars in Taurus is kind of, you can't really force them to do something. They're going to stick to their guns and not move if they don't want to, or they will not do something that they don't feel like doing. So to some people, Mars in Taurus can seem kind of lazy, but that's not necessarily the case. It's usually someone that is like slow and steady wins the race, and it's also someone that just focuses on one thing at a time. So in this case, what I'm trying to get at is like I feel that June has that thing, like that type of vibe, and that's something that Hoshi really likes, which is June's ability to be open-minded, but still somehow he finds it amusing how stubborn and how, I guess, stuck to his way June is. I guess with his approach of taking action as well as his beliefs. There's this huge emphasis on his beliefs. Let's go on to the next question, which is, what has Yoon learned from Hoshi? Ace of Pentacles. Definitely how to manifest things in his career, how to open up to opportunities in his career as well. Being able to just say yes to projects, being able to just go into the unknown when it comes to his career, into his work, his creativity, saying yes to money, or like maybe not feeling guilty about receiving money. That's another thing. Being okay with material possessions and also learning how to manage them. What has Hoshi learned from June? You know what I'm getting as well? June learned from Hoshi how to say yes to his manifestations, how to say yes to opportunities, how to work in his individual projects with no guilt. You know, not holding back at all. Like being a little bit selfish, you know, like prioritizing himself. Now, on the other hand, the thing that Hoshi has learned about June, we have the Nine of Cups reversed and the Page of Cups upright. Okay, one thing that I got right away is like not giving up on his dreams. So Hoshi learned how to stay motivated or to stay inspired, even to stay driven into the way that he views his goals. Okay, so the thing that I'm actually getting, since there are two cups, is like how to dream about his goals in a way that's less logical. So this could be the thing that Hoshi learned from June is how to be a little bit more intuitive, be maybe a bit more connected to fate and destiny, but also learning how to be a bit more creative in a way that is like this childlike wonder, seeing things from a point of view that is connected to an inner child and to the heart. Because the Page of Cups talks about someone that is inspired, someone that is very creative, someone that has a very big imagination. This is someone that is venturing into their creative mind, connecting to their spiritual side and to their subconscious. It is someone that is connecting to their heart and to their emotions. So this Page of Cups kind of, you know, because people usually see this because the fish here is supposed to represent something imaginary, someone that's very creative, right? So the other thing that Hoshi may have learned from June as well is how to be not careful with his words, but I guess being a charmer with his words. It's kind of like being gentle, maybe being mindful of people's emotions when it comes to his words. So being less of a king of swords, but being a healthier king of swords, put it that way. Because yeah, a king of swords could be very cold sometimes with their delivery, but they can be very eloquent, and that can make them seem a little bit less cold-hearted and a bit more just logical. But yeah, with this Nine of Cups reversed, it kind of feels like Hoshi learned from June how to not give up on his dreams and stay motivated and inspired. The main thing, staying inspired. Because drive and motivation is something that I think Hoshi just naturally is abundant in, as a, you know, personality wise. But with this Nine of Cups, it's kind of like staying positive, that staying inspired and visualizing his manifestations, his goals, and his dreams. It's more along those lines. But to wrap up this reading, let's go on to the last question, which is why did June and Hoshi meet? What is the purpose? We have the Angel of Song. It's the Angel of Song, but as soon as I said that, a song came into my mind, which is from the movie Belle. The song is called Gales of Song, and the song is kind of like calling out for help, but not really. It's kind of like someone that is shining very brightly to be found and seen by their people. Now, I'm saying it that way because this Angel of Song makes me think that the reason why Hoshi and June met were because they both resonate with each other. It's kind of like you have very compatible people that could either be very similar or complement each other very well, and they kind of just naturally gravitate towards each other. So this Angel of Song kind of makes me think of, I don't know what animal will do this. I guess wolves could be the best example I can think of. You know, someone that makes a sound. In this case, a wolf will howl, and that could be a form of communication towards others. Kind of saying like, here's where I'm at. That's kind of what it feels like. The other thing that I'm getting is like the imagery of fireflies, like shining very brightly to be found by other people that are similar to them. So I guess Hoshi and June are very similar, and the reason that they found each other was because of how, I guess, similar or how they resonate in an energy level. So yeah, the reason why they met was because they're both very similar, and by doing their own thing, they naturally just gravitated towards each other. I guess you could even say it's a fated encounter. But yeah, I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This was A very interesting reading. I didn't think we were going to be talking about like divination and intuition when it came to June and Hoshi, because when you look at them, they don't really seem like the type, because they don't really have water placements. I mean, Hoshi is notoriously known in K-pop Twitter as the Gemini chart boy. You know, the one that has a bunch of internal planets in Gemini. And I think June has a lot of Gemini, Taurus, and maybe some Aries in him. So there's not that much water here that will indicate a lot of like intuition and emotions. But you don't need to have water placements to be intuitive and to be able to connect. So I do feel that they both kind of just naturally create this vibe very strongly, because that could be the reason why they met. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I do look forward to all of the beautiful fan art. I was already saving some of the fan art for June's birthday that fans have made. I really like to just look at people's fan arts and be like, oh, that's a very nice drawing, and just kind of save it. I save it because I could use it as a reference of an art style or just a reference of a cool image, but then I kind of just scroll through my phone and be like, oh, look at these beautiful drawings. I don't draw. If it's not for my thumbnails, I don't draw. Anyway, I do look forward to the beautiful fan art that will pop up in Hoshi's birthday. So that's gonna be in a couple of days from when this video goes up. Anyway, I hope you guys like this. I hope you guys enjoy it. Feel free to tell me down in the comments below what you thought about this video or about this reading. What do you think my interpretation could be hinting at or talking about? And I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that is, however that is. Love and healing from my part to you, and